Some big announcements coming out of Washington, D.C. The Trump administration rolling out its $1.5+ trillion infrastructure plan, capping it off with $200 billion in new federal spending. John Shumo has the full story. John, what do you got for us?
Bill, there's a saying in business, if you don't have a seat at the table, you're on the menu. The guest list today at the White House did not include anybody from New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut. And sure enough, the news isn't so great for those commuters here in the tri-state area. Here is what President Trump is proposing: a $1.7 trillion plan for infrastructure spending over the next 10 years. So this is money to improve roads, bridges, tunnels, waterways, and the like. The president says the proposal will also create jobs, and it is long overdue. Take a listen.
We're going to make our infrastructure modernized, and we're really way behind schedule. We're way behind other countries.
Here's why it's not necessarily the best news for people in the tri-state area. Of that $200 billion, only $20 billion would go toward projects that are considered of national significance. Things like the Gateway Project that would fix the rail tunnel under the Hudson River. So New York and New Jersey would essentially have to fight for its share of that $20 billion. We want our transit options fixed, but at what cost? Who's going to pay for it? Some planners in the area are concerned about that.
Our infrastructure is old, it's crumbling, and if we don't get more investment and more federal support, it's going to be a lot harder to fix that infrastructure and a lot harder to bring it up to a state of good repair.
Now, Bill, it's important to note this is a starting point. It is a proposal. But listen, if you take New Jersey Transit, you know that help is needed. I looked at the delays and cancellations this morning. It was basically every line: Raritan Valley, Northeast Corridor, Morris,
11
Essex.
trains this
morning.
What
will tomorrow bring? It's more of the same here in our area.
Yep, and they continue to point the finger and blame everybody but themselves. John, thank you. Appreciate it.
Bill, thank you.
All right, I want to bring in someone who knows an awful lot about transportation issues in our area. He is a former New Jersey State Assemblyman and the former head of the Transportation Committee. John Wisniewski joins me. Welcome back, John.
Bill, good to be with you again. Thanks.
Let me ask you, when it comes to transportation, number one, how bad is it when it comes to funding and management? And two, do you think we've made a step in the right direction with this $200 billion, knowing that some of it's going to come our way?
Well, 200 billion is better than zero. It's better than 100 billion, but it's nowhere near what our nation needs. It's nowhere near what our region needs. I mean, think about the Gateway Tunnel. It's a 20 billion plus project. $200 billion, that's 10% of that.
So let me ask you, there are some things that you hear. I heard one of the White House spokesmen say something to the effect of, 90% of the people that would benefit from this tunnel are local commuters. So I'm paraphrasing now. They're not going to jump through hoops to get this done from a federal level.
Well, they should jump through hoops. I mean, when the Northeast Corridor goes down, it affects our national economy. And so this is about investing in the future of America.
I tend to agree with you on that. Let me ask you, though, on that. Former Governor, New Jersey Governor John Corzine talked about privatizing toll roads. You've now got a president of the United States saying, look, we want to bring in $1.5 trillion effectively in private investment. Is it time to start talking about serious privatization of some of these transportation projects to get that capital coming in? Because it's got to happen now.
Well, look, I have no problem with private investment in our public infrastructure as long as it stays public. But I also think it's a bit naive to think that private industry is somehow going to become a charitable project where they're going to start investing in our infrastructure with absolutely no skin in the game. They're going to want to own it. And I think that's a problem because where we see private ownership of public infrastructure, we see it hasn't worked well in the past.
Okay. Thank you, John. Always good to talk to you.